Is it visible? Okay, thank you. So, good morning. Welcome back. So, yesterday we were discussing the poem Abraham Lincoln's letter to his son's teacher, written by none other than Abraham Lincoln itself, right? So, let us go through the poem once, quickly revisit the part which we have already discussed. I hope all of you have read the poem and it is comprehensible to everyone. Yet, I will read the part which we have discussed once again. Let me read it once and please go through or follow the lines as I read it. Abraham Lincoln's letter to his son's teacher. He will have to learn, I know, that all men are not just and all men are not true. So, all of us know that Abraham Lincoln has written this letter to his son's teacher to suggest what are the qualities one must learn, or especially his son should learn in the school, and how Abraham Lincoln's perception of success or education is different, we can understand by reading this particular poem. He says that his teacher, his son's teacher, should teach him, and his son has no choice but he has to learn that all men are, or all the people are, seldomly just and true. Not always, they are rarely just and true. And he must also learn that there is good man as well as a bad man in the society. So the ratio between a good man and a bad one is 1 to 1. We cannot see a perfect man always. There is a scoundrel as well as a hero. And for a selfish politician, we can also find a dedicated leader. So his son must know the harsh reality of life, that there is not only positivity is there in the society, but also a negative aspect of the life is present in front of us. So his son should understand all the things, and he should also convince himself that if there is an enemy, then there must be a friend for oneself, both a negative and positive aspect. So Lincoln, by saying all this point, he tried to inculcate values of life, which his son must understand and inculcate in his life. So it will take time. This all learning definitely takes time, but one should try to inculcate all these qualities, all these values in their life. Lincoln also suggests his teacher that his son must understand the value of hard earned money, that hard earned money is better, or it is more valuable than getting greedy for the quick money. So, hard earned money, a dollar is better than £5. His son must also learn that sometimes losing is better, and one should rejoice on their victories also, not lose their heart on their lose or not winning. Steer him away from enemy. So this is one of the important lesson one should learn, that one should stay away from envy, being jealous, accept everything. One should not envy about the things which one cannot possess or gain or acquire. But instead, whatever we have, one should have the satisfaction and also feel happy for everything we have, not for being feeling bad for not having anything. Accept the reality and try to be happy in that. And let him learn early that bullies are easiest to lick. Here, it is not only the condition or the situation at a school, okay? Bullies we find everywhere, even in society. So, those bullies are easiest to defeat. You can avoid them. You can overcome this kind of social evils. Teach him, if you can, the wonder of books. So he wanted his son to enjoy the reading, but also to spend some time with nature, learning the mystery and the secrets of nature. Don't be a bookworm, but also explore the nature. So Lincoln requests the teacher to teach his son to be very honorable at the school, in life as well, because he gives an example of a win and lose situation wherein it is better to be getting failed than to win by cheating. So, what is honorable, what is respectable in society, teach him that. Though he is failing in certain tasks, it doesn't matter. If he is working hard and then losing, then it is far honorable than being won and by cheating. So he also mentions the fact that one should have faith in their own ideas. So having faith in oneself, in one's ideas, though others are against of it, though others are saying it is wrong, because if one has the confidence in their ideas, and one must know that if their idea is better, then they will be a self reliant one. That's why have faith in them and be gentle to the people, with gentle people, and tough with the tough. So if there is an evil thing, face it with a tough manner, with confidence. And any gentle things are there, handle with gently. Face them in the same manner. Okay, students, till here we have discussed yesterday. Now let us continue reading the poem and see what are the things he is trying to inculcate in his son's education and his son's upbringing. Let me read the lines once. Please go through the lines as I read it. Try to give my son the strength not to follow the crowd when everyone is getting on the bandwagon. Teach him to listen to all men, but teach him also to filter all he hears on a screen of truth and take only the good that comes through. Try to give my son. Yes, he is asking again. The strength not to follow the crowd. So, what does he mean not to follow the crowd? That means his son must have the faith in himself and not to follow the mass very blindly. He wants his son to be a leader and have some self identity, self reliance, yes, and have his own ideas and should not follow the mass. Here, crowd means the collective people, right? If everyone is going in the same direction blindly without having any second thought, then his son must think it once before following that crowd. He should have his own idea, and in that idea, have faith and create your own identity. Be the leader. Follow your dreams, ideas. Don't follow the crowd when everyone is getting on the bandwagon. See, the word bandwagon means, as I have given the meaning, you can read it from the screen. The bandwagon effect is the term used to describe the tendency for people to adopt certain behaviors, styles, or attitudes simply because others are doing so. You might have heard the word mob mentality, yes, or bandwagon effect. That means without having any second thought or without having any logical discussion, one should simply follow the mob or the people, collective people. Yes, whether that direction is right for them, whether it, it is a right path for them. Without having any such thoughts, people simply follow the crowd. So he is asking his son or his son's teacher to teach him the way to develop himself, have his own identity, not to follow the crowd. Teach him to listen to all men, but teach him also to filter all he hears on a screen of truth. Look at the sentence here. He is asking his son to be a good listener. Listen to all men, be a good listener. But when you listen, filter the hearings. Filter it. So we hear everything, positive aspect, negative aspect, everything. And usually the negativity always attracts us. We get tempted by those things. But remember, when we are hearing, when we are listening, we should filter the hearings on a screen of truth. That means his son should have the ability to see the difference between truth and falsehood. Listen everything, but try to find the difference, make the difference between truth and falsehood, which is true, which is false. One should have the ability to make the difference and take only the good that comes through. So listen everything, but take only the good things. So students, it usually happens with everyone. When we start a new venture or when we start our day in everyday life, many people give us advices, right? We should listen to everything, but we should also take only the good things from that, which motivates us, which helps us, which gives a path towards the development. Here, Abraham Lincoln is saying the same thing, that be a good listener, but also make filter and listen only the good things which comes through. Teach him if you can how to laugh when he is sad. Teach him there is no shame in tears. Teach him to scoff at cynics and to beware of too much sweetness. What one should teach him? Students, it is not only about Abraham Lincoln's son, okay? It's applicable to each and everyone, to me, to everyone, okay? We should inculcate these ideas, these values. If you can, teach him how to laugh when he is sad. So, here, according to Abraham Lincoln, it is very difficult to laugh when we are sad. But one should not spoil others' joys as well for our sadness. Correct? So, we should also care about others and rise above our sorrow or sadness. That's why he is asking his teacher to teach him the way one should be happy over the sadness. Laugh when he is sad. Here, laugh when he is sad means to rise above one's sadness. Okay? Yes, it is not easy to be happy when we are feeling low, but one should also learn to overcome one's sadness, one's low feeling. So teach him to laugh when he is sad. Teach him there is no shame in tears. It is such a common expression, right? So all of us usually have grown up in such situation where we ask our children not to show their tears. Yes, but it is okay. It is okay. There is no shame in tears. You can cry if you are feeling sad or if you are feeling very low. It is okay to shed tears. It is a way of expressing their feeling. So there is no shame in expressing one's feeling. Correct? So there is no shame in tears. Teach him that. Teach him to scoff at cynics and to beware of too much sweetness. Scoff means to make fun of. Okay, and cynics, it's a new word for us. Cynics means a person who has a low opinion of most people and most things. It may be we can call him a person who always sees negative things in life, who is always a negative person, right? And he makes fun of other people. Yes, he always uh, decreases our confidence, right? So he asking his teacher to teach him to scoff at cynics, to make fun of those people, or don't take seriously such people. Yes, avoid them or ignore them. Just make fun of them. Here it is not in a satirical manner, okay? It's not manner, but he is asking to avoid them or ignore them. Yes, and also one should be careful of too much sweetness. Here, too much sweetness means the people who flatter others for their own benefits, right? They use sugar coated words for their own benefits. They are usually around us. They use sugar coated words, too much sweet words, or they use flattery. Why do they do all these things? For their own benefit. Yes, that's why be aware of such sweetness. So there are many things. Some person, they are very harsh in their words, but their heart is very pure. Some are there who speak very sweetly, but inside their heart it is filled with envy and jealousy and hatredness. So one should have the ability to make the difference between these kind of people. Should be aware of such people. What is their motive behind their harsh word or their sweet words? Okay, so be aware of such sweetness, such people who make flattery. Yes, who use sugar coated words to flatter others. Teach him to sell his brawn and brain to the highest bidders, but never to put a price tag on his soul. Teach him to close his ears to a howling mob and to stand and fight if he thinks he is right. Look at the expression here. Teach him to sell his brawn and brain. Brawn and brain means both physical strength and mental strength. Yes, his intelligence and his physical strength. Sell him to the highest bidders. Here, selling to the highest bidders means those who care for your ability, those who consider, those who give importance, give respect to your mental ability as well as your physical ability. Sell them your brain and brawn. Where there is a value for your skill, your education, your personality, go there. Do work with them, but never to put a price tag on his soul, but never sell your principal for some price. Yes, never sell one's values or beliefs or principles for a price. which is unethical. Correct? So never trade off your principles for some prize, for some money. Okay? Next. Yes, Chinmay, I can repeat it. So teach him to sell his brawn and brain. Here, brawn and brain means one's capacity to do some work, both mentally and physically. Okay. So, where there is a respect and care or honor for your capacity, go there. Work with them. Highest bidders means those who respect your capacity. Okay. Give opportunity for you to work. Go there, work with them, and never put a price tag on his soul means never sell your beliefs or your principles for some price, for some money. So, if anyone is ready to give you some money and you are doing unethical things, that is completely wrong. If the doings are unethical and for that work you have to leave your principles, your thoughts, your ideas, your beliefs, then don't do that work because it is unethical. Correct? That's why never put a price tag on his soul. So, because of some money, don't leave your principles, your values, your ideas, beliefs. Okay? Teach him to close his ears to a howling mob and to stand and fight if he thinks he is right. So, what one has to teach him? Teach him to close his ears to howling mob. Howling mob is again the people who are shouting, or the normally we find in our society some people are always asking for some advantages from government, from their uh, nearly one. Yes, there is no any strong motive behind that. They simply howl, they simply make loud noise. Yes. So close his ears to such things, such negative things. Here, howling map can be compared with negativity in the society. Okay. So avoid them. Close ears to such things, such negativity, and to stand and fight if he thinks he is right. So teach him the confidence, teach him the ability to stand against the evil and fight if he thinks he is right. So one should also learn how to fight against evil things when someone is right. Correct? So all of us should learn this quality. If any undoing wrong things are going on in front of us, we should try to stood against them and try to put up our opinion in front of them, raise our voice against such evil things, and fight against such wrongdoings. Correct? When we know that we are right. So teach him that confidence, teach him to avoid negativity, treat him gently, but do not cuddle him because only the test of fire makes fine steel. Let him have the courage to be impatient. Let him have the patience to be brave. Treat him gently. He also asked his teacher to treat him gently. All of us want our neighborhood or other people to be gentle with our children. Correct? Treat him gently, but do not cuddle him. If you are treating him gently, make sure that you are not showing too much affection. Cuddling is nothing but showing too much affection. So that is also spoils children. Correct? Too much affection also spoils. That's why don't cuddle him, but be gentle. Okay? Because only the test of fire makes fine tale. Only if a person go through hardship, he becomes a strong person, a confident person, a self-reliant person. He is giving an example of a steel here. Okay, so we can find a fine steel only when if it goes through the fire. Here, the fire is nothing but the hardship. Yes, only if a person goes through a hardship, he becomes a fine person, strong person. That's why don't show him too much affection. Let him have the courage to be impatient. Here, courage to be impatient. Impatient is referring to the curiosity of a person here. So sometimes we are also very curious to know some aspects, some things around us, correct? At that time, we are very impatient. So that's why try to leave him in impatient manner or be curious about things. Let him have the courage to be impatient and also let him have the patience to be brave. So being brave needs a lot of time, correct? Very patience. It needs a very patience because if we act suddenly, that means we are not brave enough to wait for the right moment. That's why have patience. Having patience means being brave. So let him have patience to be brave. Teach him always to have sublime faith in himself, because then he will have sublime faith in mankind. This is a big order, but see what you can do. He is such a fine little fellow, my son. Okay, here he is asking him or asking the teacher to teach him to have sublime faith. Here, sublime faith means supreme faith in himself. So, having faith in himself can only teach him to have faith in mankind. Correct? Only if a person has faith in himself or in oneself, then only he can have faith in others. That's why sublime faith in mankind is nothing but it is an extension of having faith in oneself. Correct? Only if we have the faith in ourselves, then only we can have faith in others. That is nothing but the whole mankind. That's why have faith in oneself, then have faith in mankind. Sublime faith, complete faith, or supreme faith. Look at this line. This is a big order. Yes, he has given so many suggestions, so many values which a teacher should try to inculcate in his son's education. This is a big order. Here, the list of the values, beliefs, ideas, principles are so long. It is a big order. Here, the word big order also means that it is a difficult task, right? It is a difficult task to fulfill or to accomplish for a teacher, for a school, for even a parent. That's why teaching all these virtues, values are a big order. But Abraham Lincoln hopes that the teacher will teach it. Teacher will achieve this big order or achieve this big task, tough task, which he wants his son to have. Yes. And also, he says that his son is a fine little fellow. He's a good boy. He's a good person. That's why he will learn all these things. So try to teach him. And also, he gives us such expression in a polite manner. See what you can do. if you can. Yes, all these expressions are in a polite manner. He is asking, he is requesting his son's teacher. Yes, he is not ordering. The word may be a big order, but here the big order is a tough task, okay? Not the commanding order, but a request. So, we have discussed the poem Abraham Lincoln's letter to his son's teacher. I hope we also, including me and you, all of us will try to inculcate all these values which Abraham Lincoln is suggesting to teach his son. Yes, all these values are very important, having very significance even at present. Yes, one should possess these values to be a self reliant, self confident, and a good man.